Hi there, it's Sharon and welcome to my studio. Today I have some fun cards to share with you using this brand new set of Element Stencils. These are the Everyday Art Collection from the newest Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous release. So you can see on this pack of stencils, there are 12 different stencils in this set. We'll go ahead and take them out and take a closer look at them. So here's a closer look at what comes in this set. We have these leafy shapes, there's some floral shapes, these fun wonky stars, some squares and half circles, some little scalloped shapes, another shape with a teardrop, this fun feathery shape, and this squiggly shape, some hearts, rainbow and stars, some little dots, this leafy shape, and then there are the circles and these kind of squoval square shapes. And these stencils are great to use in your mixed media projects, would be fun on tags or in an art journal. But today what I'm going to share with you is a set of cards I've made using these stencils. And I started out with just a few of them, and then it turned into making a card themed for every month of the year. So I'll kind of take you through each card. I have a whole bunch here and just my thoughts on making it. So the first one that I created, we'll call this the January card. This one is created using this circle stencil. I just went through the stencil with some distress paint onto Distress Craft Heavy Stock and then stamped it with a sentiment from this new note quote set. And all the cards that I made for today are using this set. So I've tried to make a theme to go along with a lot of the sentiments on the set. And we'll go ahead and look at the next card. So the next card would be the February card. And this one I created using this heart stencil. And to create this card, I just put distress ink right through the heart stencil, overlapped them, and sprayed it with a bit of water, and then stamped the XOXO in archival black soot distress ink. So for the March card, I made a card with some 4-leaf clovers. And the stencil that I used for this one is the floral stencil, the one with these flowers and petals. And what I did was just use some really sharp distress watercolor pencils to create my 4-leaf clovers. So I traced the images, lined them up. I drew the stem on my own, and then I gave them some shading, and then just a little bit of green splatter, and put good luck. For the next card for April, I wanted to do an April showers theme. So I used this teardrop stencil, did the same technique as the heart card. We're just putting distress ink right through the stencil, spraying it with a bit of water, and adding the sentiment to it. For the May card, I did May flowers, and I did use the whole flower on this floral stencil. So for this one, I painted the card with some Salvage Patina distress paint, let it dry. I went over it with white distress paint through this flower stencil. And then for the tiny little dot to make it a daisy, I just put some yellow right through the hole on the top of the stencil and then stamped with archival ink. So for this next card, I went right back to using the colored pencils, and I just put the rainbow right in the middle of my card panel. I took some distress watercolor pencils again, traced right through the rainbow, and then once I removed the stencil, I took a distress detail water brush and just went over all of the pencil to make it blend together, and then just added a simple hello there. So that is the card for June. The next card I created was the July card. So I used a 4th of July theme, and I took these big star shapes here and did them in red, white, and blue. So for the red and blue, just plain old distress ink. And then for the white ones, I put some texture paste through the stencil and then put rock candy glitter on top of it and let it dry. And then just stamp the red, white, and blue. For the August card, I did just a birthday card. So I used this kind of swivel shape and I stacked them up to make a cake. And then for the frosting, I used this scallopy shape and added some frosting, added a little bit of detail with a white gel pen, and just a tiny star on top. So makes a really cute and simple birthday card. I also explored another card with the same stencil. So using this to make a gift, and then adding some of these flower petals to make the bow on top. And then there are some just simple lines here, which I used to make the ribbon to look like the package was tied together, and also added some dots with a gel pen, and Merry and Bright for that one. The next card is using the star stencil that is with the rainbows. So I just put stars all over my panel. I put texture paste through the stars and then put some distress embossing glaze on top, and then waited for it to dry, and then heated the distress embossing glaze with an embossing gun. For the October card, I made a cute little pumpkin card. This is also using the same circles that I used to make the snowman. This time I just turned them on their side. And then I combined a whole bunch of other things here. They're sitting on this little scallop, and I just used part of it on my card. So you can see I just used part of it there. For the pumpkin stems, I used these two little lines again. And then for the eyes and mouth, I used the little stars from this stencil, these two little stars for the eyes, and the mouth, these little half circles that are here, and just pick different shapes. So combining a whole bunch of different stencils this time to make one card. The next card, again, this is another one with the distress ink and just the water spritz. Just combined a bunch of these leafy shapes and overlapped them in fall colors to make the November card. And finally, I have my December card. So this one, I use this like leafy shape with some distress paint and cracked pistachio and rustic wilderness. And then I also added some red circles, different shapes and sizes here to make berries. And finally, just finished the card with some gilded foundry wax. And that's it. So basically, I took all these stencils, the brand new note quote stamp set, and was able to create a dozen cards, one for every month of the year, and a bonus present. And it's just really fun to think of different things that you can create out of the shapes. And I hope this gave you some good ideas, and you'll try some of these cards for yourself. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, I'd love for you to give it a thumbs up below, and be sure to subscribe to see future videos like this.